see what we can find. Okay, found you all. Evening everybody. Welcome to my Wednesday night live crafting. Middle of the week, I can't believe it already. I hope you're all having a lovely week. I've got a little bit more of sweet ice cream for you to play with today. Really enjoying this set. It's quite fun, it's quite summery, and it's really, really sweet. It's easy to craft with. So lots of people joining already. Hello to you all. Someone's on time today. Well done, Jane. Nice to see you too, Hilary. Yes. It's been a good week here. The girls have had a good week at school and nursery. Not really a lot to report this week. It's been quite boring, but it's been quite nice. We've got the free shipping promotion on for today. That's running until 11 o'clock, well, 10:59 p.m. tonight. So if you did want to place an order, then it's free shipping today, which shipping is normally £4.95. So you'll save that when you spend £35 through the online store. If you've got any questions about anything I'm doing whilst I'm live, please leave me a comment. And let's get started. So I'll just move my camera around and we will spend some time together. So just bear with me, everyone. Phone doesn't want to play ball tonight. Okay, now what can you see? Let's have a look. I'm just going to move this up a little bit. Dear girls, it's one of those evenings tonight, I think. For some reason, I think a certain Mr. Marsh may have been playing with my clamp. It's not good, is it? No, right. So just have a little read of the comments before we make a start. Can't pick up tomorrow. Emma has hospital appointments. We'll have to rearrange. Oh, Sharon, I'm not sure if I know about that. Have I missed something? Sorry if I have. Okay, so let's make a start. I'm going to use the sweet ice cream stamp set with the coordinating punch. This is part of the ice cream corner suite from the mini catalogue, which is very, very popular. And I can totally see why. Really enjoying this one. Oh, emailed you. Oh, I haven't checked my emails today, Sharon. That'll be why I haven't seen that. So I've come straight out here after the day with the girls, and I always check my emails and do my admin after. So I'll have a look at that after tonight. Oh dear, I haven't turned off my notifications either. I'm doing really well tonight, aren't I? Okay, and that's that turned off. Okay, so I am going to have a little play with some of the DSP tonight. And this is kind of what I've got left over from my mini class that I have prepared all my cards for. So I'll just give you a little rundown on the paper. We've got this lovely cinnamon cider pattern that's great for using with the cones. You've got these great images of the ice creams. We've got sprinkles, we've got a lovely scallop, bit of watercolour. We've got these gorgeous stripes, love those. We've got some ice lollies, and what else have we got here? We've got some stripes and some more watercolour and some spots, and then we've got this lovely ice cream as well. So let's make a little start, and I'm also going to do a bit of a fun fold card with you this evening, because why not? So let's move some bits out there. I'm going to bring my trimmer in and I'm going to cut my card base. Actually, no, I'm going to use a card base that I've already got here. So this is a terracotta tile piece of card, and it's a book fold card, meaning that it opens like a book, which is what we need for this card this evening. Okay, and then I've got some basic white card as well. Okay, so the basic white card, I'm going to trim this down so that it is 13.9 centimetres. Give it a turn and cut it down so it's 9.5 centimetres. Okay, so I've got a piece for the front like so. Okay, and then this piece here needs to measure 13.9 centimetres wide by, so 9.5 and 9.5 is 19, isn't it? Is it 19? Yeah, it is 19. Okay, and then we're going to score at 9.5 centimetres. So I'm going to do a little bit of a pop-up card. You may have seen one of these on my blog this week. And the pop-up is actually going to be inside the card. So this piece here that we've got is going to sit like so. Okay. And then we're going to have our ruler. We need to make some little score lines, which if I can find my scorer, I can do. There it is, it's staring at me right in the face. So we're going to take our middle line and we're going to score along that top line to 5 centimetres. Okay, so like so, I've just added a little dot. And then we're going to go from the score line out in the other direction to 5 centimetres. So I've just made 2 little marks. Then on that score line, I'm going to score from the top down by 5 centimetres. So we scored 5 centimetres out in both directions and 5 centimetres down that middle score line. Now I'm going to use my ruler and I'm going to line those 2 points up and I'm going to score. Okay. I did this card with my team during our team get together last weekend and we had lots of fun with it. So now we're going to fold. And then this piece here, we're going to fold in. Oh dear, I'm having a bit of a nightmare today. So we want that to fold in this way. Fold that in and fold that way. It's playing ball now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to poke that inside and it's going to fold like so. Okay, so then that bit at the top becomes our pop-up piece. Okay, so like so. So what we can do is we can actually stick that in our card now. I'm just going to use a little bit of wet glue for this. And how I do this is I line it up inside the card so that we've got a good border around each side. And then add my glue again and then close my card. Okay, so that then gives me my little pop-up inside and it closes really well. Okay, now this piece here I'm actually going to do some embossing with and I've got one of my favourite embossing folders which works really well with this set, and this is, I wish I knew what it was called and I didn't write it down. It's one of the new embossing folders from the mini catalogue and it is part of the Fine Art Floral suite. So I'm just going to pop that in my embossing folder and I'm going to wheel that through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which is just next to me on my trolley. Okay, so this here, if we open this up now, we've got a really lovely embossed piece of card. And someone asked me the other day how I'd manage this crinkle effect, Well, this is my secret, it's an embossing folder. So I'm going to add that to our card now. Like so. And that is our card really starting to come together. Okay, so I can put that to one side. And what we need to do now is we need to do a little bit of stamping and punching. So I have here the cross hatching DSP, and I want to cut my cone. So the easiest way to do this is to line it up where you can, and I want to do a couple of these. I'm going to cut 3 of these. 2, and let's do one over here. 3. So we have our 3 ice cream cones. So this paper is really, really good for the ice cream cones. Okay, and now I want some ice cream tops. And I'm going to two-tone this ice cream top. So I want my ice added to my stamp. And then with this, because it is a photopolymer stamp, I do like to use a Stampin' mat. So I'm going to stamp my ice cream in. I've got a little bit of So Saffron. And then before I stamp that, I'm going to take one of my sponge daubers for my Daffodil Delight, which is a little bit darker. Take that, and I'm just going to add that Daffodil Delight to that bottom of my stamp. Okay, and then look what happens. You get quite a two-tone sort of effect, but I think I need to add a little bit more. Just do this until you are happy with it, really. So this is going to be more of a sort of sorbet look. That's better. So I've got that darker pattern on the bottom. Now what you can do it with a different colour. So let's take the Flirty Flamingo one. And this is when this stamp set is great to have a good play with. So let's add that Flirty Flamingo to the bottom. Lovely. So look at that. We've got that lovely kind of two-tone effect. And I'm going to do another one of those, I think. And it's up to you how much ink you add to your stamp. This is actually a technique that Sarah Douglas, the Stampin' Up! CEO, demonstrated this week. So I've took my little bit of inspiration from her. There you are. So, quick question. Are they Stampin' Up! Daubers in a case you are using? No, they're not, Louise. So these were a gift from one of my lovely team. So it's a little pot of daubers, and I have created mine with every colour. The only ones I don't have in there are my in colours. They're in a separate pot. But yeah, it's a really handy case, and it's great to have one for every colour. Lovely. How cool are they? And then what we're going to do is we're going to use our little punch to punch these out. So we have one, and I think these look really lovely. I was having a little browse on Pinterest tonight before I came on, as you do, as we all do. and I saw this created as a teddy bear, which was really cute. Louise, do you have a link you could send me for it? Louise, I'm really sorry, it was a gift, so I've no idea where my friend got it from, but it was very gratefully received. Oops. Okay, so let's just pop this out like so. Okay, so we have our 3 little ice creams now, like so. It's starting to look quite realistic, and then we can bring our card in. I like it. Shall we add some sprinkles? Yeah, let's add some sprinkles. So we've got our dots and we've got our sprinkles. Let's choose. Oh, Bev said I got mine from Amazon. There you are, my dear. Someone else said I got mine off eBay. It's quite popular, it would seem. So yeah, have a little browse, see what you can find. And I'm going to do my sprinkles in Flirty Flamingo as well. Okay. I like it. Lovely. Okay. So now I want to create a couple of these inside my card. So I think I'm just going to put one on the outside. So I want a little bit of a, what do we want here? Let's have a die, shall we? And let's go with, should we go for a circle, a square even? I don't often use my squares. So let's use the squares. So these are the scalloped square dies. No, they're not. Yeah, they are. No, they're not. They are the layering square dies. That's where I was going with that, wasn't I? And let's have the one that fits inside there. So these are super handy dies to have. I've had these for quite a while, as you can tell from the old branding. One in, what colour have I got here? I've got a nice yellow piece of card, and that will go well with our ice creams. So let's have that one from there, and we'll have the non-scalloped one out of white. Let's just cut that out. Going to grab my plate. Let's see if I can cut these at the same time. Now, see, that does look like a little teddy bear, little teddy bear head at the top. Let's just roll this through. Someone said eBay and Amazon sell them. I made mine using the full wide Stampin' Up case. Well, that sounds good, Joanna. Okay, so we've got our lovely scallop square, and we've got our non-scallop square. And I went for quite a thick border on there. So let's have this about there. So I'm going to stick these two together, like so, and then our lovely ice cream can be mounted on there. Let's have a little dimension up, shall we? Butterflies, ice cream, kangaroo. I'm going to set up a GoFundMe page. I think that might be a good idea, Sharon. I think we need a group calling Stampers Anonymous at this rate. So let's just pop this about there. And then we can put our cute little ice cream next to it. Like so. Love it. This is coming together quite nicely. So I'm going to stick this down. And then of course we need a little bit of a sentiment going on. So let's have, what should we have? Should we have treat yourself, happy birthday or thank you? Let's go with treat yourself. It's quite a nice little sentiment, that. And I'm going to heat emboss this. So treat yourself, yep, I like that as well. And so we've got our white embossing powder. So I really like the font in this stamp set, it's quite handy. This out, so we can either cut it into a bit of a banner or we can cut it down a little bit more, and I'm going to cut it down a little bit more, I think. Trimming around a little bit. It's very quiet this evening, aren't I? Concentrating. I feel quite tired this week, second week back at school. I think it's catching up with me, not just the children. So we have our little treat yourself banner, which I think I'm going to pop just on there, like so. Okay, and I should just put a little dimensional underneath. Just trim this down. Okay. So that is the start of our card. I might just add a few little sprinkles on there, but now we have our centerpiece to do. So I'm going to add this together, and these two I'm actually going to stick together with wet glue because I don't want to add too much depth on the inside of my card. So I'm going to have that on there, I think. And then let's have one that side. So I'm just going to stick my ice cream cone on. And then this. So our little decoration although it pops out the top of our card, when we close our card down, it all tucks nice and neatly inside. And don't we just love a little pop out card? So we've got, let's have, hope it's sweet, you're so cool. Let's have you're so cool. There's another little sentiment in there. Where is my verse? Here it is. Quick question. Was that So Saffron ink with Flirty Flamingo? Yes, it sure was. We want the embossing powder. Here we go. Made a big old mess on my desk tonight, haven't I? And then we want our little heat tool. So the trick with this sort of card is to not add any detail over that join line really, because you don't want to crease any of your lovely elements you're putting on. But we'll have that about there. So we'll have it so it just overlaps a little bit. So that will still tuck in quite nicely. And then I want to add this as a happy birthday card. So all I'm going to do is grab my happy birthday stamp. Just going to grab a block for that to go on. And let's stamp that in Flirty Flamingo. And then down the bottom, we'll just add Happy Birthday, like so. And that's it, we're done. So that is our first card of the evening tonight. So I've got quite simple detail on the outside. We've got that lovely two-tone effect on our ice cream, and I love that embossing card. I think that goes really nicely. A little bit of heat embossing for our sentiment, and then inside we've got that lovely pop-up, surprise pop-up element. So that's our first card. Really like that one, quite straightforward, not a lot of detail going on there, but yeah, pleased with that one. So we will make another one, and I'm going to stick with that sponging theme. So the next card we're going to make, I have here, I've got a Flirty Flamingo piece of card. So let's cut that down. I'm just lining it up at 14.9 and scoring. Thank you, someone's just put great card, that's very kind. And then cutting at 10.5. And then let's use some of that lovely DSP, shall we? So that is this little sprinkle one. I'm going to cut a strip that is let's go for 7 centimetres wide. And we'll go for 14.4 centimetres long. Give that a little fold, and then that is just going to go on the left hand side. Okay, really nice DSP that. Okay, and then let's cut one of these scalloped squares, but we'll cut it from white, shall we? Fit on there. Nope. Just raiding my little scraps box that I've got behind me. So let's just cut that out. there's our little scallop square. Now let's do a little bit of stamping, shall we? So I'm going to bring in the ice lolly. So there are two stamps for the ice lolly. There's the top and there's the bottom. So the top has got a little curved part to it and the bottom is square. So I'm going to start by stamping the top, and the top I'm going to have as my So Saffron. So just like so, and then the bottom I'm going to stamp in So Saffron, but before I add it to my stamp with it, I'm going to use my door bar and just add on that little bit of flirty flamingo colour, and when you add the two together you get an orange kind of tone, which is really nice. And then to line these two up, you're going to line it up with the sides, okay, and just bring it up quite closely so that that area in the middle kind of disappears, okay, and then just give it a little stamp there, and that looks lovely. Now I haven't used a stamping mat with that, which is why it's gone a bit wafty, so let's just repeat that. So this is the bottom that we're going to add our flirty flamingo ink to. It doesn't matter if you stamp with the top or the bottom first. Oh, that's better, much better. Okay, and then let's stamp with the yellow. So just bringing that down to line it up and give it a little stamp. So I quite like that. That's quite a nice little effect we've got there. So let's just cut this out. The punch is only for the top of the ice cream and the cone. Sadly not the lolly, but they're pretty straightforward to cut around. Just leaving a little bit of white border around the edge. Okay, that looks quite nice on there. And then of course we've got our little lolly stick. So in here we've got this stamp image. And you have this larger one as well, but I actually prefer to use this one, I think. Let's just add that. And I'm going to stamp that with my trusty crumb cake ink pad. So we just want a little bit of scrap for that. Evening to you, Sophie. Thank you for hopping on. Hope you've had a good day with the boys. Okay, so this we can just layer behind. So I'm just going to add a little dot of glue. On there like so. So that is our little lolly. Okay, so let's just pop that on. I just want to try something. No, I don't like that. So let's pop this down like so. Sometimes you just have to try things, don't you, when you've got something in your head. That on. So we're going with a really similar sort of design in that I'm sticking with that square section on the right hand side, and then our our lolly, I think I'm going to put that about there so it overlaps, because you lose the kind of scalloped edge against that background. So I'm going to pop that on the edge. side. That's it, got that off. That's better, and then that is going to sit just on the edge like so. And then the sentiment I've got here, I've got "You Melt My Heart," which I probably should have stamped directly on, but let's turn this into a thank you card instead. Let's bring our little bit of black card back in. A little bit of an scrub with the embossing buddy. Hope you're all still hanging on in there tonight. It's quite a long one this evening. That's it, give it a little tap. And then we'll heat that. That's it. So we can either add it as a banner or we can cut around it. So of course I'm going to just give it a little cut around. Just following that edge, that outline as close as I can without snipping any bits off. Okay, nearly there. And then we've got our little thank you to go across. Like so. So I'm just going to grab one other thing. Now we have here the ice cream corner sprinkles, which are pretty fun. I think I read yesterday there are about 1,500 of them in this little pot. They've kind of got a really little nice texture and they're really useful for this sort of just adding a few little embellishments kind of here and there. So the best thing to pick them up with is take your pick tool with the putty in the end. So just choose the colours that you want and just pop them on. Oops. Got two for the price of one there. And there you have it. So that is the front of that card. We will add something in the middle, but before we do that, I'm just going to pop some of those sprinkles on here. So let's just add these, and the colours I believe are Coastal Cabana, Terracotta Tile, Daffodil Delight and Pool Party. No, Purple Posy. So the colours are really lovely. Oh dear. just stick. There, we're stuck now. Some nice lot of colours. Okay, so that is the front of that one, and then in here we just need to add a piece in the centre. So let's bring our white card back in. Like so. My poor desk this evening. Okay, and then this piece here, we're just going to trim it down, and we're going to trim it down so that it is 14.4 centimetres by, let's go for 8.5 centimetres. So we're just going to have a little strip of white card. Here we go, and that's going to be in the centre. Just like so. So there we have our 2 cards for you this evening. I'll just do a little recap for this one here. We've got a really fun little surprise pop-up element inside, which is really, really sweet and really straightforward to do. That's the first card that I did, so if you wanted to see how I did that, just rewind to the beginning of the video. I've got a lovely embossed layer, and then I've used the layering squares there. I've done a fun technique there with the ice creams, adding some ink with the daubers, a little bit of sprinkles, and then for this one we've got some of that lovely DSP, and then the same technique with the lolly, a little bit more heat embossing, and then inside just a plain layer. So that's it for me this evening. Thank you so everyone who has watched along, commented, and given me some likes. It's really lovely. A few nice ones there. It's really lovely, and I think Sophia would love to make some ice cream cards with me when she comes. Yeah, I bet as well, Denise. The girls are really enjoying this one. Florence has made a few little cards with it. Beautiful cards, love them. Will be great for when I restart my classes. Thank you, beautiful. Thanks so much, girls. You filled my cup this evening. So if anyone's got any questions about anything I've done, please do let me know. We've got the free shipping deal going on until 10:59 tonight. So if you did want to place an order, click on the shop now link or the link at the top of this post, and you won't be charged any shipping if you spend £35. And I will next be live with you all tomorrow morning at 10 AM. It'll just be a quick one tomorrow, just one card at 10, so do hop on if you can. And that's it, guys. So I hope you have a great evening, and I will speak to you all very, very soon. Bye for now.